Good afternoon, Rotarians. This is our first Rotary meeting, the first Rotary Club of Toledo meeting in July. It's also my last meeting as your club president. I'll talk about more about that later. For this meeting, we're having a changing of the guard, which means new officers for the year. It's going to be an interesting meeting, at least from my point of view, and I think we should get going as for our normal schedule with Pat Sheehan leading us in the reflection, followed by Kelly Trem with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Dear God, today is a special day as we embark on a new Rotary year. We give thanks for President Tim's leadership this past year. He has skillfully guided us through uncertain times and always leads with his heart. We look forward to a new Rotary year in the leadership of President-elect Alex. We thank you for putting us in his very capable hands and ask you to be at his side always. We also thank you for the leadership of Kathy Tate. We are blessed by her steady hand and the continuity she provides our club year after year. Today, maybe more than ever, our local community and the world need Rotarians to step up and make a difference. Please grant us wisdom. Bless us with the patience to listen, especially to those we might not always agree with, and guide us to act in a way that exemplifies your kingdom. It's a great time to be a Rotarian. Thank you for this opportunity. In your name we pray. Amen.
Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pat, and thank you, Kelly. And thank you for all that you've done over the last year. We have a new sponsor this month, Walt Churchill Markets. I don't know if Walt is out there or not right now, but Walter, thank you very much. And also thank you to the Walt Churchill Markets family for sponsoring us this year. Your support means a lot to us. As you guys know, we're having a changing of the guard this year, and that means we're changing a number of different organizational structures within our Rotary Club. One of them is the foundation. We have 3 retiring Rotary Club Foundation trustees who are who've served us faithfully, and now it's time for some changes. Longtime Rotarian and past President Tom Backoff. I don't know if you're there, but thank you for all that you've done in your service on the foundation board. Same thing, Louise Jackson, you've been a light and an inspiration for me personally, and your wisdom is greatly appreciated. And thank you for your service as a trustee. And Judy Leb, I always like talking to you. We've had some great conversations. Your heart is in the right place, and thank you for your service on the Toledo Rotary Foundation board. So thank you to all 3 of you. Good luck, and we'll put you to work someplace else, I'm sure. Also, it's time for acknowledgments of our board, the Toledo Rotary Board itself, and some retirements. Charles Asa, who is now living in West Virginia, has served up to his term. And thank you, Charles, for your assistance over the years. Bob DiNardo, who will, as soon as the installation is completed with Alex, is going to become the president-elect. So he stays on the board, but in a different capacity. So Bob, thank you very much for all that you've done this year. And Jim Kneep, I don't know if you're there or not. I think the world of Jim, there's a lot of people in this world with common sense, and then there's Jim Kneep. And I really appreciate everything that you've done over the years that we've worked together on the board. I've learned a lot from you, and I've learned to listen to you, even when I don't like what you have to say. So thank you to all three. You've done your job, and I'm sure we'll find more for you guys to do as well in Rotary as we move forward. I understand that we're about to have a video. I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm supposed to say to everyone I just talked about a minute ago that we have plaques for you. And if we were in person, we'd bring you up and we would applaud you for your service. I promise that we'll eventually get you the plaques. The plaques are made. You just don't get them now. So moving forward, I think that we have a video that I've not seen.
President Tim, thank you for a great year of Rotary. And what a year it has been. Wait. Now let me get this straight. Yes, your year as president has come to an end. You now graduate to the beloved, much experienced past President's Committee chairmanship. You will be welcomed by all the PPs. So come on board past President Tim to the Wiser Heads Department of Rotary. You have graduated to the highest level possible. Come on board, sit back and enjoy the ride into history. Thanks for all you do, or excuse me, thanks for all you have done. Wow. What a year. What a terrific year.
Well, thank you very much. I guess I've got only like a few more minutes to really screw this up, but I want to talk about the Rotary year, and I'll try not to I'll use my best chipmunk voice. Just as I look back, and I've been thinking about it for some time, what I'm going to say about this Rotary year and what it's meant to me, and it's meant a lot. The first of most important thing is to thank some key people. There are more people that have done stuff than I have time to. So if I miss somebody, I'm sorry. But I just wanted to mention a few names, people that have meant so much to me in this Rotary year and in my Rotary experience. First, for me, is Kathy Tate. I've gotten to know Kathy a lot better over the last year. We've had many meetings. I'm sick of eating eggs with her for breakfast. And so it's hard to eat breakfast over Zoom, but we have met many times. And from the very first day, in fact, from before the first day, Kathy has given me good advice, both for my development as a president and for the development of this club. She cares deeply, and she puts a lot of time and effort into keeping this club healthy. So Kathy, from the bottom of my heart, thank you.
You are most welcome. Thank you, President Tim.
The past presidents have been an inspiration. You know, I'm honored to be the 110th president of this club. That means there were 109 people before me, and they set it up so this club could be as successful as it is. 110 past presidents means World War I, World War II, the Korean War, the Great Depression, Vietnam, all of the other stuff. And it's the past presidents that helped us to get us through all of those difficult times. And I'm ever so grateful for all that they've done in setting us up. I want to have a special call out to Helen Balanis. I don't know if she's there or not, but Helen, in a lot of ways, you got me started on this Rotary journey that took me to this place right now. When you asked me to chair the polio chair for the club in the district so many years ago, I think that it was a successful experience for me, and I hope that you're satisfied with the decisions that you made. It was meaningful to me, and I'll forever grateful. Gary Murphy and Peter Handwerk from before I became president have been sounding boards and coaches and helpful, and mostly they answer the phone still. When I call and I say, what about this and what about that? And they've been very helpful, keeping me on the right track, keeping me from making stupid decisions. And I'm grateful for both of them, and especially for their friendship. So thank you to both of you. I need to mention Tom Backoff, who has been a great counselor. He shared advice and expertise and experience multiple times through the year when there were problems I didn't quite know how I was going to handle. And so Tom Backoff, thank you for your Rotary experience and your advice and guidance. Included in this group is Dick Wolf. Dick preceded me as president, and he spent a long time helping me prepare for this job. And I'm grateful for that. He did it. I think he did a good job, but I may be biased. But Dick also has became a friend, and that's one of the best things about Rotary. You get to make some great friends. Jim Kneep served on my board. He served on the board for a number of years. He's a very active and influential Rotarian. And he, as you heard me say a few minutes ago, Jim is worth listening to, even if you don't agree with him. But whether you agree with him or not, he's a hard guy not to like. And while it wasn't always easy, I really, really appreciated all that you did, Jim. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
The entire board. I had a very activist board. We've had a lot of challenges this year, and they were all great. I'm not going to mention Alex because we'll talk about him later, but the board gets to work with each other for years at a time. It's a long process to become the president, and you go through a number of chairs to get here. But Bob DiNardo is going to become the president-elect shortly. Bob has done many things in Rotary. We've already talked about Jim Kneep as Secretary-Treasurer, Charles Assau, Cindy Binkley, Steve Johnson, Janina Douglas, Kevin Mullen, John Romer, Judy Siebenek, Travis Tangeman. I sure hope I didn't miss anybody there, but the fact of the matter is couldn't have gotten through this year without you. There were a lot of decisions that had to be made very quickly with all of the things that are going on, and you guys were invaluable. Thank you so much to all of you for everything that you did and for this Rotary year. I want to talk about some people who serve behind the scenes. Abby Mortimer Sachs, Sheena Kay, Walt McGee, who does more than you can imagine, Chuck Mann, and Matt Atkins. These Rotarians, they don't get the spotlight, but they're the ones that keep those meetings going. And that's true whether it's the Zoom meetings or the regular meetings, which we'll be getting back to. It's really quite a highly structured organization that has to put these meetings together. And the people that I just mentioned, you don't get the credit you deserve. I think the meetings go very well, and I want to reach out and personally thank you for everything you've done, not just in this Rotary year, but I know that you guys have been doing it for a long time. So thank you. Of course, as I mentioned last week, the work of this club is by and large done by the committees. And so the committee members themselves and the committee, especially the committee chairman and vice chairman, who make all of the things that Rotary does to make us a viable service organization, couldn't happen without you guys. And this club is, like we said, has been around for more than a century. Couldn't possibly have lasted that long if it wasn't doing something, providing a very important service to the community. And I want to thank all of you for that and for making this year so meaningful for myself, but also for the community at large and for Rotary in general. As I think about the goals. I started looking at the goals, and I was recognizing that they changed a lot in the course of the year because so much was happening. And we proved ourselves to be a pretty flexible organization, but we also stayed true to our values. Amongst those values are the 3 transformational projects that we've got, the cleaning up Lake Erie and water in general, as well as literacy, education and literacy, early childhood literacy, and of course, lead abatement. I was really proud about the fact that we kept intact our commitment to make those transformational projects happen. And I was really pleased to be part of the $10,000 we provided for early childhood literacy this year. And I know we're going to do more in the future, but I was pleased that we stayed with that. And it's not all been easy, but we're staying with our core values. Same is true with polio. I don't know the dates, but this club has been involved in polio and polio victims, aiding polio victims, pretty much since our founding. And when Rotary took it on back in, Walter could probably tell you, but the date must have been the 1970s, somewhere back there, 50 years plus ago. Toledo Rotary Club was at the forefront of giving and raising money and doing what we had to do to take us to the place we are today, which is less than 100 polio victims in the entire world in only 2 countries. And to that point, we put on a polio fundraiser. We raised thousands of dollars, and that of course was matched by the Gates Foundation. And I tried to do a quick and dirty, but I think we raised enough money to vaccinate about 15,000 kids, just this club. I'm very proud of that. And I'm so proud of that, I continue to wear my Polio Plus pin. We had a world-class speaker that we brought in. We've had her before, but we're lucky to get her, and she's in great demand around the world. And we had some fun. Just think of Axe Out Polio and the good time everyone had there. Speaking of fun, fun's an important part of this social organization. We're not just service, we're also social. And I'm thinking about the bowling club, and I don't know if the police got called or not, but maybe they should be. It was a lot of fun stuff. Back to speakers. Our program committee was second to none. I can't say enough about them. We get good speakers. It's one of the big reasons that I'm a member of this club. We always get good speakers. We always have, as long as I've been associated with us, but this year we were outstanding. We had the mayor, of course, speak to us. We had one of our Ohio senators speak to us. We had industry leaders come in and talk to us when the economy was changing very fast. And we've had important thinkers, both international and national, renowned speakers. And we've had to make changes. Usually our speakers are set up 3, 4, 5 months in advance. But with an economy and a world that is changing as fast as ours has been, we've had to make decisions and changes on the fly. I'm certain they weren't all perfect decisions. We did the best we could. We didn't have much time in many situations, but our program committee was outstanding. I'm sure a few people were upset, but we felt that we had to be relevant for the changing circumstances that we're in, and I'm proud of what we did. We addressed change. Our speakers addressed changes regarding the environment and social unrest and health. I'm thinking about the virus and other stuff. And of course, this rapidly changing economy. We are the employer community in many ways. We are the leadership of this community in many ways. And it's important for us, in order to stay relevant, by exposing ourselves to the most innovative and cutting edge speakers that we possibly can. And I think we have done that. I don't know if Bob Savage is out there or Stephanie Coleman, but if you are, I am very grateful for the work that you and your committee have done. Just yeoman's work. So you move this club forward. Thank you. I did pay some attention to our goals that I said, and one of my goals that I talked about a year ago was increasing our media presence. And, you know, this club moves slowly sometimes, but we did a pretty good job. We've had lots of Rotarians on the radio, on the Fred Lefevre show. We've had people on television, going to television stations talking about Rotary and Rotary projects. We've increased our social media presence. I'm not the best person to talk about this, but it was one of my goals that we would do all of that. And now, because of Walt and lots of others, you know, we do stuff on Facebook and YouTube. And honestly, I had never, if we go back to February, I had never heard the word Zoom before in my life. I didn't know what it was. And and now it seems like it is a big part of my life. In terms of social media and media presence, all the stuff we're doing right now on Zoom and all of the other places, I will give you guys all of the credit for everything that went wrong, and for the credit for everything that went right, I'll give it to the people that put it together. And I'm thinking specifically about lots of people, but Travis and Kevin, boy, it's looking good. There's a lot more work to do, but thank you very much. You've kept this club moving forward, and couldn't have done it without you. So thanks to both of you. Other things, Alex, in the course of the year, began the project of building a habitat house with other Rotary clubs in our district. I know that $10,000 was set aside for that. The project is already underway. I'm sure Alex will give you reports on that as it goes forward. I'm proud of us for that. Rotarians contributed $10,000 to the local food bank through the Toledo Community Foundation. We don't typically move very fast, and we had to make some hard decisions and some fast decisions to get some money and therefore food into our local food bank. I think there's going to be more to do there. I'm hearing that there are some real significant problems, but the fact that we could get that money into the food bank as quickly as we did says a lot of good things about us. I don't like, and I know that Rotarians don't like, the idea of people in our community, especially children, going hungry. So I'd ask you to think about that going forward, but be proud and take a moment to recognize the accomplishment that you've had with what you've done so far. There's always going to be more work to do. We started the 1912 Foundation. I'm not sure exactly the title, but it's basically an organization of Rotarians within our club, kind of like the Paul Harris Fellowship. And its purpose is to put money into our foundation, and that's important. It's the money that's in the foundation that makes it possible for us to do things like the Habitat House and the food bank and so many other things that we do. You know, we spend a couple $100,000 every year, and that's important. It's very important. The 1912 organization, I was proud to join it. I'd encourage you guys to do that too going forward. The foundation does a lot for this city, for the most needy people and organizations in the city. And I know that when we contribute to the foundation, I get to have mental health because so much goes wrong. Sometimes it seems, I know that I'm doing something to make the community a little bit better. Not only that, but as I think about that 1912 meeting, and you know, as we kicked it off, we had three great Rotarians, Clint Mock, Dick Anderson, and Walt Churchill. And since it's my moment to talk about, I guess, me and what I think we've accomplished over the last year, one of the things that I'm most proud of is I got to share a podium with 3 giants. And those 3 gentlemen have done so much for this community. And for me to have the honor of sharing that podium with them, I can't say how proud I was to do that, and what an honor it was for me to be amongst them. Just thinking of other stuff that we did this year. Several years ago, we contributed money, and probably more importantly, we got partners to work on a water project. Our club was the lead club. We raised $10,000 for a water project in the very distant country of Sri Lanka. And when I say that it's important that we did that, the raising of money, of course, is important. But going out and getting partners in Findlay and Perrysburg and Maumee and Waterville and other partners in the district, getting district funding and getting global grant money, we, with our $10,000 initial investment, built about $190,000 worth of, I think it's 15 different water plants. And that will reduce the kidney disease in those communities because their water had been destroyed. Other than that, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. We've talked about it in the past. It's a remarkable success story. But this year, let me get this right, the ambassador, the Sierra Lankan ambassador to the United States in Washington, stopped here in Toledo, met with members of the Toledo Rotary International Committee, those that were available, and came to thank us. I mean, think about that for a while. It was an amazing experience for me. There we are. You know, the fact is we did save thousands of human lives and improve lives that otherwise would have been pretty miserable with having to face kidney disease and economic fallout from all of that. But here it is, you got a foreign government coming to Toledo to thank the Toledo Rotary Club for saving people. And I thought, this is why I'm a Rotarian. This is what it's all about. And to be thanked, we need to be thanked. I don't know if we need to, but it sure was nice and it felt good, and I was glad to be part of that. We have an amazing International Services Committee. I can't go without saying thank you to Rachel Hobson and for forming the Peace Committee this year. It's helped with the diversity of this club, which I think is important. We need to be attracting leaders with diverse backgrounds, and that means frequently African Americans. That we should include all minority groups. Primarily what we want is leaders, and if we can assist leaders, diverse leaders who are in the process of interrupting violence, we should find ways to support those groups. And for all of the work that the Peace Committee has done, I would really like to thank you. Additional things that we've done this year. I'm going through this pretty quick because we're going to turn the meeting over in a minute. We have redesigned our meetings. If Sharon Skilleter is out there, thank you for all that you have done and all that you're doing right now. We're being forced to find a new place to meet. Alex will talk about all of those subjects either today or in the near future. We're also being forced to find new office space. We've constantly this year, we've been looking at our budgets. It seems to me like we've been doing it daily, but at least monthly, as our economic and social circumstances have been changing. We've had to adjust our dues to deal with the changing economies of our membership, and we'll do what we can do to keep this going. We have 100 years of service to our community, and we're going to continue it. It's been an honor. It's been a great honor to serve as your 110th president of this very fine club. And I would like to thank everybody involved. Thank you so much. Alex, my friend.
Yes, Tim, I guess you're speaking to me.
Yes, I am. Before I start this, I have a written statement that I've been handed. And it's, I was going to start by saying we've changed our mind, I'm not leaving, but that probably won't do. I've got to say, Alex, I've gotten to know you over the years. You've become a friend. I've developed a great respect for your capabilities as a manager and as a leader. And I know that before I read anything, I want you to know that I'm very comfortable and proud to have you lead this club. I know you're going to do a great job. So if you would, please raise your right hand for the swearing in. And Alex, would you repeat after me? I, Alex do solemnly pledge
I, Alex do solemnly pledge
that I will faithfully execute the office
that I will faithfully execute the office
of President of the Rotary Club of Toledo,
of President of the Rotary Club of Toledo,
and that I will, to the best of my ability,
and that I will, to the best of my ability,
and that I will at all times
and that I will at all times
uphold the Constitution and bylaws of this club,
uphold the Constitution and bylaws of this club.
Alex, you have been elected to the office of President of the Rotary Club of Toledo. I hereby declare that you and the new directors as being duly installed, and now pass to you, President Alex, our gavel as a symbol of the transfer of the club's leadership. It is emblematic of your office and an expression of the members' confidence in your leadership. President Alex, please accept the gavel and the pin of your office, and my very best wishes for the wonderful year that I know the Toledo Rotary Club will experience under your extremely capable leadership. Alex, for my last act as president of the Toledo Rotary Club, it's my pleasure to give to you this ball. I've had this ball for a year and it's been very important to me. One of the things that makes it interesting, along with having a soccer ball, is the fact that it's a rotary soccer ball, and it has the 4-way test on it in multiple languages. I'm going to pass this thing to you and say to you, my very good friend, that the ball is now in your court.
Thank you, past President Tim. Thank you for a great year, and thank you for your kind remarks, and for also giving me some big shoes to fill. I'd like to thank my family members who have joined today. I know my wife, Mary Dew, is out there with her father, Ed Weber. I know my parents, Hans and Marcia Dew, are joining in from Florida. I believe that my son, Preston, my daughter, Emily, and my other daughter, Lizzie, are also in on this fantastic and honorable induction. You know I'll love you from the bottom of my heart, and thanks for joining us. I'd also like to thank all the Rotarians in attendance. I'm humbled to be your next president in the new Rotary year, and I've had some excellent guidance over the last several years as I've moved through the chairs, with many great presidents and board members, and also our club foundation. Thanks for mentoring and your encouragement. I'd also like to welcome our new board members. I'm looking forward to your leadership this year. If you could have asked me 6 months ago how I envisioned the changing of the guard in the meeting with my acceptance remarks, a Zoom meeting would not have been on the list. We're a changed world, nation, state, and community. We're all looking for the new normal, but it is still out there in the distance. You might call this a paradigm shift. And how we embrace this change will define our future. Applying this to any business or personal situation, I think of all the different opportunities that might develop in this new environment. The possibilities that can occur from this change are endless, but not without effort and determination. Each year, Rotary International develops a theme to carry us through the year. It's ironic that this year's theme is Rotary Opens Opportunities. Rotary Opens Opportunities. The theme came out long before any pandemic or change to our country and communities. And the action words that follow this theme are prepare, inspire, and engage. And that is exactly how I plan to fulfill my commitment to the Rotary Club of Toledo. Prepare, inspire, and engage. But fellow Rotarians, I need your help so that we can remain one of the best Rotary clubs in the world. My action plan this year includes 6 goals that will move our club forward into the future so that we can be better on many levels. Number 1, lead our club out of this pandemic and transition back into a vibrant organization so we can continue to be leaders within our community. We will take advantages of opportunities presented because of this current environment. We'll get members back to meeting again responsibly, using safe, approved practices for those that are comfortable with in-person meetings, while maintaining the Zoom meeting option for those who choose not to attend in person. We will enhance the meeting experience with a video production for those online viewers. We'll increase speaker engagements throughout the country via video conferencing, which was previously not a recommended option for our club. And we'll increase communication channels to members while making it easier for them to communicate with the Rotary office. Number 2, to improve member retention by 10% through member engagement. Involvement starts at the committee level. Member engagement starts at the committee level. Our community benefits from the work that is achieved through our committees. Committee board liaison, chair, and vice chairs will collaborate and become recruiters for the committee members. If you're not on a committee today and you're asked to join one, please seriously consider this opportunity. It is Rotary engagement. Or if you're passionate about disability service, community service, youth service, vocational service, or international service, join the committee that fits your passion. And of course, committee projects. These are other ways for engagement, and we're always challenging our committees to find new ways to engage in our community. Number 3, membership development. Our membership has suffered because of this pandemic, and we have lost members for many different reasons, not just the pandemic, but for several other reasons. We need to rebuild and continue to look for community leaders who will serve through the avenues of Rotary. We will continue to focus on inclusion and diversity, as our best members come from other Rotarians. So we will continue to engage in our internal marketing efforts and weigh options for an external marketing plan of action. Number 4, maintain financial stability. Of course, with a reduction in members means reduction in revenues. We need to implement Finance Committee recommendations to appoint board members to focus on sponsorship packages that were developed last year for certain events. We will challenge all board members to support the selling of those packages while thinking of additional ways to increase club revenue. And of course, we will continue to support and promote all foundation fundraising initiatives, even during this difficult time. Interaction with other Rotary clubs. We will continue to have interaction with other Rotary clubs. We'll continue to support working with other clubs on joint projects similar to Habitat for Humanity remodel that's taking place now. And we will invite other clubs to join our meetings via Zoom for VIP presentations. And then finally, we will continue to support and monitor the progress of our transformational projects developed 2 years ago under past President Dick Wolf. Pre-K education within our community, lead abatement, and clean water. As you can tell, we have an aggressive agenda, but I am excited to take on the challenges that face us in this new Rotary year. But I need your help. When we work together, we can accomplish more than we can as individuals. Throughout the world, there are over 35,000 Rotary clubs with over 1.2 million Rotarians working together with similar goals. I'm looking forward to working with the executive committee, the board, and all our committee members as we venture into this new normal. Rotary opens opportunities. Prepare, inspire, and engage, and we'll make it a great year. Thank you for all that you do for Rotary yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
It's a celebration. Celebrate good times, come on. Let's celebrate. There's a party going on right here. A celebration to last throughout the year. So bring your good times and your laughter too. 'Cause we're gonna celebrate your party with you. Come on now.
With the following 2021 officers and directors and trustees commencing service in those positions, prepare to take oath of your respective office. Bob DiNardo, President-elect. Cindy Binkley, Vice President. Travis Tangerman, Secretary-Treasurer. And new board directors, Scott Hinshaw, Patrick Sheehan, and Kendra Smith. I'd also like to welcome newly appointed and elected Toledo Club Foundation trustees. As chairman, Mary Mancini, Vice Chairman Brian Kennedy, Foundation Secretary Treasurer Mike McIntyre, Past President Joe Tefelsky, and Jim Lehman. Fellow Rotarians, each of you has been elected to the Board of Directors of the Rotary Club of Toledo and new incoming trustees of the foundation. This is an indication of the esteem and confidence that our members have in all of you. We also believe you will uphold the high traditions of our club, that you will give the best of your ability to the furtherance of the interest of our club and foundation, and that you will carry forward the objective of Rotary. please raise your right hand and repeat after me. Please raise your right hand. Will you fulfill the responsibilities of your term to the best of your ability and in accordance with the Constitution of the club? If so, please say, I will.
I will.
I will.
You are now installed as members of the Rotary Club of Toledo Board of Directors and trustees of the Toledo Club Foundation. So next week, our next week's meeting will be Dr. Chris Winslow from Stone Labs, and meetings and events happening this week. So we're going to start announcing that because it is very difficult to just announce a Monday morning meeting since our committees are having meetings all the time during the week, usually Zoom meetings, I would say predominantly Zoom meetings. So on Wednesday, July 15th, the COVID task force meets at 3 p.m. via Zoom. On Friday, July 17th, the Peace Committee will participate in a walkthrough of the Junction Coalition at 2 p.m. Please connect with Chairman Kurt Church for details. Also, committees are taking steps now to schedule new meetings for this year. And if you wish to sign up for a committee, please reach out directly to the Rotary office by emailing your request to info@toledorotary.org. And now, similar to last year, we have past President Chuck Mann for Chuck's Chuckles.
There was once a man and woman who had been married for more than 60 years. They shared everything. They had talked about everything. They had no secrets from each other, except that the little old woman had a shoebox in the top of her closet that she cautioned her husband never to open or ask her about. For all of these years, he had never thought about the box, but one day the little old woman got very sick and the doctor said she would not recover. In trying to sort out their affairs, the little old man looked down at the shoebox and took it to his wife's bedside. Took down the shoebox and took it to his wife's bedside. She agreed that it was time that he should know what was in the box. He opened it, found 2 crocheted dolls and a stack of money totaling $65,000. He asked her about the contents. When we were to be married, she said, my grandmother told me the secret of a happy marriage was to never argue. She told me that if I ever got angry with you, I should just keep quiet and crochet a doll. The little old man was so moved he had to fight back tears. Only 2 precious dolls were in the box. She had only been angry with him 2 times in all of those years of living and loving. He almost burst with happiness. Honey, he said, that explains the dolls, but what about all this money? Where did it come from? Oh, she said, that's the money I made from selling dolls.
Beauty. Thank you, Chuck. Thank you very much. And now, fellow Rotarians, again, thank you for joining us. We are adjourned.